Hello and welcome back to another episode of Kadri Talks Football. Um, yeah, I'm going to be doing less Premier League reviews now. I think that would be more engaging if I had someone with me, but just I feel like you guys just watching me go through all the games from the weekend isn't really as engaging as I thought it would be. So I'm going to do less of that unless I have someone with me. I've tried to get some people on, but it's not as easy as it is when everyone have their lives to live. Um, but I am going to be doing more or try to do more fun videos, like the one I'm doing today. So yes, I will be rating players, best players according to their ages. So from 16 to 33, that is the plan for today. There's been a lot of debates going on with, especially with the Ballon d'Or that has just concluded. All the exciting games that has been happening. So there's been a lot of debates about who are the best players in the world and at their specific ages. Today, I'm about to clear your doubt. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it's my opinion. But just before we continue the video, please like, comment, subscribe, share. Let me know what who I missed out on, what you think I was wrong about, whatever your demise or complaint might be. Um, but yeah, what I did today was I just wrote down like 20 to 30 names that I think are the best players in the world. And then I just had to do like research on what their ages were. And I think I covered all the ages except one age. And I don't know. It feels there was no I couldn't find any exceptional player for that age. So I had to do like a little bit more research and I had to pick a name or some names anyway and I had to settle with one name for that age. But anyway, when we get to that age, I'll let you know. So let's get into the video. So at 16, I have Francesco Camarda. Yeah, AC Milan boy. He's um he's not really played a lot. He's been playing in the Serie C for AC Milan's B team. I think Milan Fortuno. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. And he's been scoring. He's giving me Haaland vibes, like when Haaland said coming up at that age, and the way he was just bullying the kids his age. He's very tall, very strong, and quick. He came on for to make his Milan debut on again in a Champions League game, and he scored, although it was offside. Like at 16, it's crazy. It's crazy what he's doing, and like Milan see so much potential in him. And after watching him play, I see so much potential in him, and that's why he's made my 16-year-old list. He's the only one I could even think of for 16, to be fair, and rightfully so. I can't think of any other 16-year-olds doing it like he is right now. Well, so yeah, Francesco Camarda takes the 16 spot. For 17, this one was very tough. I'm joking. This was probably the easiest one for me. Yamal, probably the easiest name that the easiest thing on this list, if I'm being honest. Like the rest, there were lots of like debates because I was trying to take into account current form, achieve and then like achievements, consistency, and everything. But current form, yesterday, today, tomorrow, it is Yamal for 17. But I will still shout out some people, just to give them the plaudits for what they're also doing at that age. Ethan Nwaneri, he's played big games at 17, like big games. Played against Liverpool, he's played against the Spurs, he's played against City. He's played lots of big games for his age, and he's playing really well. Like he's very composed every time I've seen him. He's one to watch for the future. Hopefully, it doesn't go downhill for him. Um, and then there is Esteval who plays in Brazil. I haven't seen an actual 90 minutes of him, but I have seen highlights or like clips from him, and he looks super talented. He's giving Neymar vibes because the numbers he's putting in. I think he's outscored Vini and Rodrigo at the same age or even younger when they were still playing in Brazil, which is a big deal because those are two big names that came from Brazil to Europe. I like him. I hate that he's going to be playing for Chelsea, and it's not fun to hate on kids, but I'm going to have to be a hater because he's playing for the Ops. But yeah, shout out to that guy. At 18, this was probably the second easiest one for me. For me, the deserved winner of the Copa Trophy, the best young star from last season up until now, Zaire Emery. Like he was 16, 17, carrying PSG's midfield on his head. Like he is so good, so consistent. He's been consistent since he made his professional debut, and I feel like he's not getting enough respect because of the league he plays in. He is the best 18-year-old for me right now. I don't think there's any contest there. There's no one I could think of that comes close to Zaire Emery. Um, yeah, big shout out to him. I really like him. Very composed midfielder, very good on the ball, very good tackler. Like he will press you, and when he gets the ball, he will give you a good pass. I really like players like that. Um, I couldn't really think of many 18-year-olds, but I'm going to give a shout out to one 18-year-old, Jaden Dance. Yeah, we haven't really seen a lot of him. He made his debut for Liverpool last season, scored on his debut, 2 goals on his debut, and started going in and out of the team, but as expected for a 70-year-old at the time. But then this season is just he's been injured all through, and it's kind of unfair because there is the chance to take, not necessarily take that spot, but there's a chance to shine as a striker because we've not really had the best performances at that in that position this season from the players we've gotten, and I think Jaden Dance could stake a claim to making that spot his. For 19, this one I won't say it was easy, but I think still a clear winner. Arda Guler, Guler, that guy, the Turkish guy that plays for Madrid. Yeah, this one also like very very talented left-footed player, and he's not like he's kind of similar to Yamal. He doesn't have that burst of pace like the Rashfords, the Mbappe. Like the standard young winger. When you see them, they are very quick. They just want to outrun the old men that are playing fullbacks. Nah, just like Yamal, he's very composed on the ball. Creatively, he's probably one of the best. I would say top three in Madrid. I can't really think of anyone that can pick out a pass better than him. He has a good shot. His left foot is just wicked. He can do everything with his left foot. Very talented boy. Hopefully his injuries do not weigh him down because he's been in and out with injuries. But it's going to be very hard for him also with like the amount of players in Madrid. Uh, this might be a problem for him, and he might have to leave if he wants to actually play regular football. There's a team that has a world class right winger that would not mind taking an understudy until he leaves. Liverpool. Adaguler. If you're interested in becoming the best player in the world, I think you should look at Messi side. Other shout outs for 19. I wrote down Rico Lewis, who's been very very good. Like when it comes to receiving the ball in tight spaces, there's not many people that have watched that better than that boy. Well, in current football anyway, that better than him. He's so good. He's so good. We've seen so many fullbacks invert into midfield. That is a midfielder that plays fullback. Like he is a proper midfielder, very very talented one. Another 19-year-old I'm going to shout out to is Yildiz in Juventus. I don't even know where to start from with that boy. I didn't know of him. I think he's Turkish also. I didn't know of him until this season also. Like this is not one I would lie about that I've watched a lot. But this season, my favorite league is Serie A, so I watch a lot of Serie A. And this season he has played really well. Like under Thiago Motta, he's doing really well. He's so good. He can shoot, he can score, he can pass, he can dribble, he can take on the player. So yeah, shout out to that guy. And for 20, oof, yeah, it starts to get tough from here because this was one of them ones where I had lots of names, and the obvious guy I didn't pick because he's been out with a bad injury, and with years to come, or like maybe over the next year, he might reclaim that spot for me. But the person I am going with, who's been very consistent, who is actually kind of schooling Zaire Emery in terms of being a midfielder right now, is João Neves. Like PSG got Ugarte 2 seasons ago. He played 1 season with them and they told him to get out. They found the perfect person for them, and he is so good. I didn't. So every season I go in like with the three main leagues I want to watch because it's kind of hard to follow every league. I try to just to keep myself updated, and so the Premier League sometimes can be very frustrating. You just want to take your mind off of the shit refereeing and or your team's shit performances. So I try to pick three leagues to watch. I've been watching French league a lot, but they've lost a lot of good players. So I decided not to watch French league this season. But after seeing one game with João Neves, I decided to add French league back into my list of leagues to watch. I mean, well, I say French league, but I watch like probably just PSG matches. Yeah, but well, I mean, it's worth it anyway. He's so good. He's very, very good. And he's one of them small. In terms of stature, he's very small, but very, very strong, very quick, technically very good on the ball. I really like him. But the obvious guy that everyone else would probably pick would be Gavi, for Barcelona. Before the injury, people were even saying he was better than Pedri, and I could see it. To be fair, like he was very hardworking. I think when he started, he was playing higher up, but just before his injury, he started playing as a deep line playmaker, and he was doing that so well. He receives the ball like there are certain things I really like about certain midfielders, and when you receive the ball from your CB, how do you take the ball? What do you do with the ball after you receive the ball from the CB? Some people can't even. Some people lose the ball immediately because of the pressure in midfield. Javi is one of the best at it. I really like him. But unfortunately, I had to pick João Neves. There's also Nico Paz, who is playing for Como. Is one of them guys I've watched in Serie A this season. I really like him. And then there's John Duran. I can't believe that guy is only just 20. Like, I was shocked when I found out his age when I was making this list. Yeah, he's just 20. There's a lot more to come from him. Shout out to him. 21. This definitely was the hardest to make because I wrote like I said at the start of the video, I wrote like names. I wrote names down, and then I had to like pick the best out of them for their certain ages. And at 21, I wrote almost everyone I wrote down were at 21-year-olds. But I had to pick one, and I went with who you're probably thinking too. Yeah, Jude Bellingham. It's very hard to ignore what he has done. Arguably, for me, deserved the Ballon d'Or. Definitely, for me, deserved the Ballon d'Or more than Rodri. It was arguable between him and Vini. To me, the best players in the world last season, and he had such a good international tournament. Even though I was one of the people that tried to like slate him, but the thing about Jude is you cannot fault his work. He might not be as pleasing to watch as certain people. He doesn't do the jinky magic. He's better than them. He doesn't, twerk before he passes the ball or twist his weight or seduces his defenders. Nah, he's the standard English midfielder. He will run, he will get the ball, he will pass the ball. He tries to make the passes as accurate as he can. He shoots as accurate as he can. He shoots with power. He runs in, makes late runs into the box, gets his goals. Standard midfielder, and to me, his performances throughout last season consistent and very good. Best 21-year-old. Without even an argument. But the other names I wrote down were Pedri, who I think is technically better than Jude. Now he's the type that would look better on the ball. He twists his weight, he poses before he makes a pass. Everything just looks good when he does it. But Jude has been more consistent. Pedri has been out injured so many times. If I had to pick a midfielder though, now not best. So I try to differentiate certain things like. In terms of player overall, Jude is definitely the best 21-year-old. But if you're limiting it to just midfield, who is the better midfielder? It is definitely Pedri. And then there's Oscar Bob, who should have made a name for himself this season. Unfortunately, he went and injured himself, and it's sad because everyone could see that this guy was coming to like stake a claim for like one of the best players in the league this season. Then there's Xavi at Leipzig, another very good player. I really like him, but to me, he plays similarly to Foden. He doesn't really have a proper final pass on him. He doesn't create as much, but he runs well, he turns well, he shoots well, he makes good runs into the box. Like, he does everything really. I really like him, but for the position he plays, I feel like he should be more creative than he is. Talking about being creative, there's Wirtz and Musiala too, who are so similar to Xavi too in terms of that. Musiala is obviously the better dribbler, so he's more entertaining to watch. Like I watched the highlight for the game this weekend, and oh my god, he just toys with the Bundesliga defenders. He's so good at dribbling. But to me, as I've always said, it's the same way. Like that's the reason, one of the reasons why I don't rate Hazard as much as everyone else. There is more to the game than dribbling. As a footballer myself, as someone that plays football, what I do the most is dribble. But I do that to entertain. But at the end of the game, if I have not contributed to a goal or to like, I don't look at that as I don't look at that and say I played well, because everything I've done was for the entertainment of people watching and the entertainment for myself. I haven't helped my team in any way. As an attacker, I have only my main way to judge you. No, let me not say only. My main way to judge you is how have you contributed to the team winning? Have you created a goal? Have you scored a goal? Every other thing is secondary. I don't care what people say. Say like you do this, like people did the things stats don't show you. As an attack, leave that for the midfielders. Leave that for the defenders who are involved in the first phase of the build-up. You as an attacker, you are meant to finish what the team has started. So I don't hear all of that. But anyway, yeah. Oh, and also Kamavinga. I threw his name too amongst the 21-year-olds. I really like him. Unfortunately, he's not cemented his place in Madrid yet. He's always in and out of the squad. But the talent is there to see. Moving on to the 22-year-olds. This one too, there were a lot of names. But let's be honest, there's only one obvious guy that should make it. And yeah, that guy is Cole Palmer. He's just come out of nowhere, and he is consistently doing the same things over and over again. I'll be honest, I was one of them guys that probably thought he would drop off. Not like gameplay wise he would start playing bad. No. Like yeah, the way I look at footballers, there are certain things that I see in a player and I know this player is good, regardless of their output or not. But at the same time, there are certain things that you would have to do consistently for you to be elevated to the status of being amongst the best players in the world. Going back to Hazard again, you see, these are the things that he did not do consistently, and that is why I will never rate him. Cole Palmer is doing that consistently. I thought this season he would still play well, yes, but his numbers would reduce. He's not slowing down. That boy is involved in everything, and it's sad and scary to watch, because why does he have to play for those guys? Like, why can't I enjoy this player? Like, why can't he be playing in La Liga or something? Let me enjoy him and not have to hate on him every weekend. But he's here, and I have no choice but to hate. And I'll be honest about my hate. But today we're not hating. Today we're giving props to good players, which he is. Creatively, he's so good. Technically, he's so good, and he shoots the ball really well. Like, he's really good. Like, he's the best 22-year-old. No argument. All I can do is give shout out to other guys like Vadiol, Gvardiol. I'm struggling with their names. Caicedo, Nico Williams. Oof, that's another talented boy, but his attacking output is not that great. But he's a winger, and he does what a winger should do. I'll give him a shout out, but he's not done enough to be the best. There's Michael Olise, who genuinely I thought he was better than Cole Palmer. I'll be honest. I used to argue with my friends that he was better than Cole Palmer. I still think he is. Yes, I still think he is. But right now, Cole Palmer is doing wonders, and he would have to step up his game 1,000 more for me to confidently say he's better than Cole Palmer. And then there's Bradley Barcola, who he stepped up this season since Mbappe left. He's kind of making PSG his team, but he's still not doing enough. I believe in him. There's so much more he can offer. But we've got to keep watching and see what he will do. Let's move on to the next age. This is another stacked age. This one was not just stacked, because even with the stacked ones, I was still able to pick a clear winner. This one I wasn't able to. What I picked at the end of the day. and I picked Bukayo Saka. With Saka, yeah. To be fair, I've never hated on him. He's one of the ones where I don't know, maybe it's because he's Nigerian or something. I've just always had a soft spot for him. Not even soft spot for him. I've just wanted to see him succeed. Like I would hate on I like I'm openly hating on Cole Palmer. I hate on Jude. Like, but with Saka, like I just wanted to see him succeed, and now he's kind of succeeding so much because I just watched him torment my team. He nearly killed Robertson, and this is someone that has not played football in a while because he was out injured. Came into the starting 11, captain armband, and destroyed Robertson. He is so good, and his attacking output is world class levels. He's assisting every day, he's scoring every day. He is insanely good. Like, this is one of them players where if you try to hate, you just have to just put your hand up and say, okay, you know what? He shut me up. Just shut up. I've got me. I'm a humble person. Like I would definitely openly hate you, but once you shut me up, my mouth will be kept shut. And Saka has done that to a lot of his haters, and I hope more people shut up because this boy is real. Once Salah leaves, there's no debate about who is the best right winger in the league. Um, Other names that I threw in where Saliba, who has been very good, or he's getting overhyped, but can't deny that he's very good. Boniface, I really like him. He's actually top striker, top striker. Like, he's a very stupid person, but he scores. Like, personality wise, he's stupid, but as a striker, he's a killer. He's like Vinny in the sense that he performs well for his club, but for us for Nigeria, he's quite shit. Um, then there's Kvaratskhelia. I was surprised to find out that this guy is only still 23 year old, 23 years old. Maybe last year or 2 years ago, I'd have picked him over Saka. Like, he has been that good. Wait, he was like 21, 20 when they won the league. Damn. Wow. I didn't realize how young he was. But yeah, and a very talented winger. His output is not the greatest, but is good enough for his team. I really like him, and I think in a different setup, he might actually even score and assist more. There's Kangin Lee, who I've always liked since he was Valencia. Now he's at PSG. He plays everywhere across the front three and plays in midfield. Like, that is just a talented boy. Um, I've not really ever expected an insanely amount of output from him because he's played in midfield most of his career, to be fair. But now he's playing higher up, and I'm expecting more from him. So now I'll stop giving him the benefit of the doubt. But regardless, he's a talented boy. Like, he's so good on the ball, so good on the ball. And then there's Rodrigo, who also I think should leave Madrid if he wants to play football consistently. I think there's space at Liverpool. Just imagine, like, once Salah leaves, my front three could be Rodrigo on the left, Goulier on the right, and Jaden Dance as a striker. Or we sign a proper striker because I don't trust those guys we have now. That sounds like an elite front three, to be fair, of young stars. But yeah, that's it for 23-year-olds, and for the 24-year-olds, I have this one was hard as per I had two people contending, two main people contending, and Vinny came out on top. Yeah, nah, to me, should have won the Ballon d'Or. If not him, Jude. But to me, he was my favorite to win the Ballon d'Or. This guy. So the thing about football fans is they tend to throw pure football and stats. Like, they try to separate it from each other, and then there are these phenomenons that actually play this pure football and actually put in the stats. Now, his stats are not the greatest. I've been seeing, because of the Ballon d'Or, people have been doing researches. I've been saying stuff like Mateta had more goal involvement than Vini and stupid shit like that. I don't care. I watched this guy do it in the Champions League. I watched this guy do it in La Liga. I've watched this guy do it in the biggest games. I've watched this guy do it in the smallest games. I've watched this guy destroy your favorite defender. I have watched this guy carry his team to the Champions League. I have watched this guy score in the Champions League final. I've watched this guy win trophies single-handedly for his team. This guy's the best in the world. His output definitely wasn't that great. Like, if you want to go back to Ballon d'Or winners, like, if you want to compare him to the past Ballon d'Or winners, his output is actually great. Like, Messi and Ronaldo obviously has ruined that perspective on who the best players in the world are. Vini compared to the likes of the Ronaldinho, the Zidanes when they were winning Ballon d'Or, definitely he's doing better. Not gonna say better, at least up to onto their level in terms of output. So I don't get this disrespect he's getting everywhere. Like it's purely fueled by something, and in fact, I don't even know why I'm scared to say it. It's purely fueled by racism, hate, and racism. Vinny is very he's not emotional. He's a dickhead. That's just the truth. He's a dickhead. Do I like his attitude? No. But why do we praise Vardy for doing the exact same thing? Why do we praise Haaland when he does it? Why do we praise him for doing the exact same thing? But when it comes to Vinny, his attitude is thinking. He's very this, he's very that. Like it's pure. When anyone does it, white or black, we should all either criticize it or we should all either praise it. We're not meant to seclude anyone, and that hate has taken it into the world stage now. And when an award is judged by journalists who don't care about football as much as we do, they just, they want to look for who will represent them, who will be in front of the headlines. Then they will start looking at, how can that guy be the face of football? It has to be one of our men. It has to be like in F1, how did they call it? A white savior. And that's the Ronaldo suffered from that. I'm not saying that Messi wasn't better than Ronaldo, but Ronaldo suffered from that thing too. But anyway, Vinny is the best 24-year-old, and it's not even. Well, no, it is a debate because the other 24-year-old is Haaland, consistently good. He will score. Give him 2 touches in a game, he will score 4. I don't know how he will score the other 2, but he will score 4. Like he's just so good. He's not been on the best of form recently. And I know that because he's been my captain on FPL. That guy is pissing me off. But he's been insanely good. At 24, the records he's broken, the goals he's scored. He's scored people's career goals at 24. He has at least 6 years until he turns 30. And by 30, who knows what he would have done. And this guy doesn't look like he's slowing down. He looks like he's only just getting started, to be fair. The other 24-year-old that I had in mind was Vitinha. Just another shout out. Like PSG have actually gathered like good midfielders. I really like their midfield. Vitinha, Zaire Emery, João Neves, Kangin Lee when he plays in midfield. This other Spanish guy, I've forgotten his name. But yeah, I really like their midfield. Vitinha is one of them good ones. 25. This one was easy. I watched this Sky Sports video of this girl. Mentioning Bastoni for the best 25-year-old. She made a good argument. I was almost convinced that Bastoni is definitely the best 25-year-old. Like, she made a very good argument. But he's not the best 25-year-old, let's just be honest. The best 25-year-old is Mbappe. We're all praising, we're all calling names for the Ballon d'Or. This person did this person did that, this person deserved the Ballon d'Or. Mbappe scored 50 plus goals. Mbappe had 50 plus goals, and we're not even throwing his name out there. Like, he's normalized this thing. We've normalized Mbappe just doing that well and just not being good enough. Unfortunately, he was doing this at PSG. And so people, like I said, it's the same thing that Emery is suffering from, has suffered from for the Copa Trophy. It's the same thing Mbappe has suffered from. Rodri, who won just 1 trophy last season. Okay, well, 2 if you count the Euros. But in terms of club football, Rodri won just 1 trophy, and that was the Premier League. And that was good enough for him to be hyped that much. Mbappe won 1 trophy. I'm not even sure. He probably won the French Cups too, but I can't think of that right now. But let's focus on the league. He won the league, and no one rates it enough. So obviously, the Premier League is now highly rated, more highly rated than the French league. And these kind of things affected Mbappe, and that's why he's wanted to leave for a long time. And now he's finally gotten his move. His form hasn't been the best. His output has still been great, but his form hasn't been the best. He could have more even, and that's what is frustrating Madrid fans. And he's kind of ruining the vibes, to be honest. He doesn't want to play as a striker, but he's not better than Vini as a left winger. But regardless of all of that, one thing we know for sure is he is the best 25-year-old. Shout out to Bastoni also. To be fair, I probably won't have put him in my list until I watched that video, and It was a great argument, to be fair, and I really like Bastoni. I want him to come to Liverpool. To be honest, like if Van Dijk leaves, that is the guy I want. Um, so yeah, Bastoni to big shout out to him. We have Odegaard also, who is a good 25-year-old. Leao, who's one of the most dangerous wingers in the world, but trying to put him in his pockets. Yeah, that's my guy. Hakimi, who's one of the best right backs in the world. Like that guy, I think just him and Trent as fullbacks have 100 goal contributions. It's just insane. He's consistently good. He's not the best. Like people won't really hype him up, but can't really deny what he's doing and how he's impacting all the teams he's played for, from Dortmund to Inter Milan to PSG. Like now, Real Madrid actually need him because they need a right back. But getting right back into the video, the best 26-year-old is a right back. I'm sure you guys enjoyed that one. And he's Trent Alexander-Arnold. I can't lie, this one was kind of hard because there weren't a lot of 26-year-olds out there to put up for debate, but the ones I found made it a tight debate for me, and I just had to go with who I thought has been the most consistent player and current form. Also, I would say has been the best 26-year-old. Trent, I don't even know. I've spoken so much about him, but like there's nothing much to say. He's just the best right back the world will ever see. Okay, let me not say will ever see. I don't know where my son might play, but the best right back we have seen so far. The other names I had were Fede Valverde. That's a proper English midfielder. Unfortunately, he speaks Spanish. He's so good, very hardworking, this and that, has a good shot on him. He's like Jude, but plays deeper. And he's very good, He's made a good, like he's cemented himself in Madrid's team, and that's crazy because when everyone is trying to like put together a Madrid team, the best Madrid 11, people tend to leave him out because they tend to leave him out for the more technical midfielders like the Camavingas, the Judes, the Chouamenis, the Modric, the Kroos at the time, and everyone leaves him out. But somehow he still gets in there, whether he's playing as a right back, whether he's playing as a right winger, or whether he's playing in that midfield everyone likes to leave him out of. So he's been a very good player. Then there's Militao also from Madrid, good defender. There's Bruno Guimaraes, who's not from his status is dropping. Like being at Newcastle for that long probably hasn't done him any good, but can't deny his talent anyway. And to me, the best left back, although he's played as a left wing back most of his career in the world, Di Marco for Inter Milan. Like I said, I watch a lot of Serie A, and this guy is so good, and he carries his team. He's a proper footballer. He's not there to joke with anyone. You don't see him smiling on the pitch. He's just running down the left wing, either scoring or assisting, and I really like him. Very, very good. Talking about Inter Milan, the best 27-year-old plays for Inter Milan, and is Lautaro Martinez. To me, definitely deserves to be in the top three of the Ballon d'Or. 100% deserves to be in the top three of the Ballon d'Or. Had a phenomenal season last season. Like, this is the captain of Inter Milan. He carried Inter Milan to a Serie A trophy. Was the highest goal scorer in the Serie A. Went into the Copa America. Was the highest goal scorer in the Copa America. And then scored the winning goal in the Copa America final. What more do you need to do? Tell me. Rodri, who got hooked in the final for the Euros, which people are using to make a claim that he was the best player in the world. Why does Modric have more of a claim to the trophy than Lautaro Martinez, who did it the exact same thing? Won his league title, also won his continental title, scored in the final, was the highest scorer in the final, won the Golden Boot for his league, won the Golden Boot for the Copa America. Why isn't that enough? To me, he's the best 27-year-old in the world. He doesn't get enough respect, obviously, because of the league he plays for. And if more people could actually tune into Serie A, they would see a lot of players that they are missing out on. Like, to me, the best league in the world, if I'm being honest, in terms of competition. Like, Premier League is entertaining, good cameras, good stories, and it's English. But Serie A, to me, you cannot predict a win. I've never gone into a Serie A weekend and being able to predict who would win a game. I think tonight Napoli is playing versus Milan. I don't know who's going to win. That's how the league is, and I love it so much. Um, Other names around 40, 27 year olds. I had Marcos Thuram. Oh God, I think this season has been better than Lautaro so far, but I think Lautaro is slowly getting back into the team. Marcos Thuram has been so good. He played as a supporting striker, as in just behind Lautaro. So Lautaro was the one finishing the chances. Thuram does the hard work, links up the play between midfield and Martinez. But this season, Thuram is getting involved in everything. I have enjoyed watching him. He's strong. He's quick. Like his hold up play. Oh my God, you can't get the ball off him. I really like him. Then there's some names I threw in for 27 years. To be fair, when I look at the names now, I'm kind of laughing like, oh, because I put Dembele, and Dembele's his stock is dropping also. I'm not even going to say much about him. He was so talented when he was coming up. Like the way we rave about Yamal and the likes, these other teenagers. Dembele was that level or even more. Well, okay, maybe not more than Yamal, but Dembele was on a high level when he was a teenager. Like we thought this guy was going to be battling for Ballon d'Ors with Mbappe, and neither of them have any. Uh, on form this season, Rafinha has arguably the best player in the world. If we're keeping it a buck, like if we're doing just form for this season, like 8 games, 9 games into this season, well, if you had Champions League, maybe 10, 11, 12, 15 games, if I may say. And Rafinha to me has been the best player in the world. Like he's been so good. So I have to throw his name there into best 27 year olds, and then shout out to other guys like Barella and De Jong, proper midfielders. Barella, like Inter Milan have they have a good squad. I want to say I see them winning the league again, but it's very tough. Like Serie A is very tough, and then the young injuries have killed him. Should be much better, more highly rated than we currently rate him. But he's a good 27-year-old, and so I will give him his plaudits. Moving on to 28, we have the Ballon d'Or winner. I mean, I've had a lot to say about him and the Ballon d'Or and whether he deserved to win it or not. I still think he doesn't deserve to win it. But what I can confirm is I think he's the only one that is clearly above every other person in his position. Like on the left wing, you could throw Vini and Mbappe. As a striker, you could throw Haaland, Nunes. I'm just joking. Like every position, you could throw 2, 3 names to compare against each other. When in DM, if only an insane person would throw another name in to compare with Rodri. I don't want to hear your rice. I don't want to hear your beans. Rodri is clearly the best DM in the world. Maybe Gravin Birches. I'm joking. I'm joking. Um, but yeah, Rodri. And there were not too many 28-year-olds I could think of. The only other name that came to my head was Seiru Gurasi. Seiku Gurasi. I don't know if I'm saying the first name right, but Gurasi anyway. Popped goals for Stuttgart. Like at some point last season, we thought he was going to break the Bundesliga record because I think 7, 8 games in, he broke the record for the most goals scored in that like amount of games played. So I was like nah, but he scored a lot at the end of the day. And they moved to Dortmund where he's still scoring a lot. Proper striker. That's one I actually like. In terms of, I mean, I don't want to say 28 is too old, but the way we built, we probably won't go for someone like him. Now 29, this was the age where after putting 30 names down, I had no one that was 29-year-old. It was hard. I had to go and like start searching who's 29, please show yourself. And even then I couldn't find like a good list of players, and I ended up settling for one anyway, and I settled for Kimmich. This Kimmich thing is very tough because he is a very talented right back and a very talented midfielder. But people will tell you that he's not a good midfielder, and people will tell you that he's not a good right back. He's a very interesting case. I think he's good at both. I think he's very good. Like he's like Lamb, just not as good. People probably expect more because they've always compared him to Lamb, and when he doesn't perform like Lamb, they are disappointed. But I had to settle for him for the 29-year-old because there's not a name I could think of. Other names I saw were Raya, who's performed He had a good no. Let me not downplay him. He's had a good start to this season, and yeah, just threw his name out there for that. Then there is Grimaldo, who made the top 30 for Ballon d'Or, so might as well just throw him there. I mean, he did really well for Leverkusen. He is still doing really well for Leverkusen, so there's that. He deserves to be mentioned. Yeah, no other interesting names for 29. Boring age. Don't turn 29, guys. Um, and for 30, also another boring age. I went with Bernardo Silva just because consistency. He's delivered enough times for you not to ignore him. The other name that was there was Bruno Fernandes. I couldn't. There are things that I think Bruno. I mean, if you watch my last video, you'd see I did rate Bruno Fernandes over Bernardo in terms of creativity, and that one I can definitely say Bruno is way better than Bernardo at that. But every other thing when it comes to football, Bernardo is just better. But then when you consider Bruno's outputs, regardless of how bad of a footballer he is still constantly impacting games. But then again, like I said earlier, when it comes to forwards, attackers, I need an output from you, yes. But when it comes to midfielders, I need control. I'm not really. If you add output to your games, that is fine. You can win me a game, that is fine. But that's not the first thing I'm looking for from you. That's what I'm looking for from my attackers. For my midfielders, I'm looking for more control, more finesse, more uh, tempo to the game. And Bruno just doesn't have that, and that's why I've had to pick Bernardo Silva over him. Other name I had was Kalak. So I basically picked three tens. Kalak to Inter Milan. I keep on going to Inter Milan. Maybe that's my favorite team in Serie A right now. Kalak. I'm glad he got recognition and got into the. 6:45. Damn, that starts with me. I'm glad he got recognition and got into the Ballon d'Or top 30 list. He's been so good and consistent over the years. Like, this is someone that I've watched for a long time actually, and yeah, that's another 30-year-old. For the 31s, not a lot of names too. I had Kane, obviously, scoring 50 plus goals. It's never an easy feat, and he did that, and he's probably going to do that again this season. So by the end of the season, he would have scored at least 100 goals for Bayern Munich in how many in 2 years. That is an unreal record. So for me, the best 31-year-old. He's starting to slow down in terms of pace. I don't think he will perform the exact same way in the Premier League, but in the Bundesliga, his pace is fine with the pace of the league. The other name I had was Di Lorenzo. That is Napoli's right back. That's also another like really really good defender. It's like Di Marco. He's not here to smile. He's just here to run, give you the ball, defend like a monster, and impact the team going forward. I really really like him. But yeah, that was a name I had for 31-year-old. But Kane obviously the best. For 32, not a lot of names too, but it's obvious. It's Salah. If you're listening to the podcast, just the audio, I was doing Salah's celebration, and it's quite embarrassing. I might have to take that out of the video. But yeah, Salah is to me the best 30-year-old, consistently good. He will give you goals, he will give you assists, the best ranked winger in the world, best right winger in the Premier League, best right winger ever in the Premier League. He's just so good. On games where people claim, he's not playing well, he will still win you the game. Games where he plays well, he will still win you the game. He's not one of them. Oh, you're there, pure footballer, or you're impacting the game. He will play that pure football for you, whether you appreciate it or not, and he will score an assist for you. Proper player. And when we come for Henry's record, I don't want to hear no talk about best foreigner in the league or best player ever in the league. It is my Egyptian king. Other names I had were Son and Shaka. Two consistently good players, at least for their clubs. Son, Tottenham's captain. He also constantly delivering. Shaka also constantly delivering for Leverkusen. And the last age, this was probably one of the toughest ages for me, because I have chosen Van Dijk. We'll get to it. Well, I'll get to talk about Van Dijk, but the other names I had were De Bruyne and Griezmann. Now, Griezmann to me he's one of the most underrated players of his generation. I think his name has just kind of disappeared from people's mouths, and it's kind of unfair. Proper player, But in terms of consistency in the last few years, and in terms of what they've done, in terms of what they've won, and how they've helped their team win and play, De Bruyne and Van Dijk have been unreal. But maybe it was down to bias. Maybe De Bruyne, you could put De Bruyne over Van Dijk. I personally would go Van Dijk. I don't know, maybe because to me, clearly the best centre back that's ever played in the Premier League. Clearly the best centre back I've watched in my lifetime. There are certain names that people would throw that I didn't see. I didn't see in real time. And I'm not talking about the Vinicius or the Ferdinand. I saw enough of those ones to know that this guy is better than. In fact, from '92 when the Premier League started to date, Van Dijk has been the best. The other names you can throw are from other leagues, the Maldinis, the Nestas. In terms of Premier League only, he does the best. In terms of everyone that I've watched in my own lifetime, whether it's in the La Liga, Premier League, Serie A, or wherever, Van Dijk has been the best. And for that, I just put him above Kevin De Bruyne because I can't 100% say Kevin De Bruyne is the best midfielder or best attacking midfielder I've seen in my lifetime. But I can say that for Van Dijk. And for that, Van Dijk is my best 33-year-old. Wow, that was a long video, but I'm glad we have been able to complete it. If you disagree with me, let me know. Let me know if I missed out on any names. I don't think I missed out on any names. My brain works, you know. I know football has quite a lot, and I watch a lot of leagues. But yeah, let me know what you think anyway. Let me know what you agree on or what you disagree on. What type of video I should make next, because man might run out of ideas. So please keep me in the loop with what you guys are thinking or what you guys would like. Yeah, so do the usual: comment, like, subscribe, share. I'm more interested in the comments, to be honest. I'm more interested in the comments more than your subscription or your likes or whatever. But those also help me get to more people who I would like to hear comments from. So do everything, but more importantly, comment. Let me know what you think. Thank you. God bless. See you in the next video.